Hello everyone, I'm Krasi and I will be describing the most important celestial event for the next 3 years. Very important. This is when on 23rd of January of 2023, Saturn will enter sidereal Aquarius to stay there until 27th December 2025. 3 years of very, very, very important transit of Saturn. And like I mentioned in the previous video, if you remember, try to remember what happened 30 years ago. Like 33 years ago, we had similar situation of Saturn entering sidereal Capricorn, and all old structures, governments, fell. They were replaced by something that we didn't and we don't really like. So you can make this research for yourself, but it will be another page of from historical mundane perspective, but also for us. So I will be describing how I see it, and then also we'll be looking at the 12 ascendants, how this will influence each of the 12 ascendants. Of course, this will be very general because, you know, it very much depends on how Saturn is positioned in your horoscope. People with easier Saturn, they born in the day, better dignified Saturn in their horoscopes will certainly experience this in an easier way. Others may have a little bit more challenging experience during the transit of Saturn in Aquarius. But you know that from the perspective of the ancient astrology, Saturn is ruling both Capricorn and Aquarius. Of course, we do not exclude Uranus as a secondary ruler of Aquarius, but we still look at Saturn as a ruler of Aquarius because this is how the tradition teaches. Now, let me tell you first, also traditionally, historically, from ancient perspective, you see, Saturn of the Babylonians was god Ninurta, great giant god, the ruler of the agriculture. Sometimes they would call him the Black Star. The Babylonians would not fear Saturn too much as Ninurta because he was also the wise man and his actions were predictable. They would fear Mars more as being totally unpredictable. He was even described as an unpredictable. So Saturn is also in my, in my Bulgarian tradition, we call him the old man, the wise man. So yes, he's definitely the planet, the only planet, mainly, or the main planet, which is teaching us wisdom. No one else in the zodiac will teach us wisdom. It is Saturn. So he will be teaching us wisdom for the next 3 years. And actually, like God Ninurta, Saturn also, he is Lord of Karma. He allowed the doors, the gates to be opened and the big float to come on the humans. So yes, he is the Lord of Karma. Everything is karma in the horoscope, but he is somehow allowing this to happen or not pass. Then, of course, in the tradition, we have the Greek Chronos, the Titan Chronos. I will not look into this story. And, of course, Saturn of the Romans. And especially in this time of the year, they would celebrate Saturnalia, which was actually not the most pleasant. It was even, not, I don't, for some reason, this was not the most moral celebration that you can imagine. But anyhow, we look at Saturn as, for me personally, preferably as Ninurta, the Lord of Karma, the Lord of Discipline, the Lord of Agriculture. And what will happen to the world when we know that he is ruling stones, building, mountains, gemstones? You noticed in the world how after Saturn entered Capricorn, which was end of January of 2020, until 23rd of January of 2023, you noticed, and I was even describing this prior to the Saturn entrance in Capricorn, so you noticed how Saturn influenced this business. I think the real estate property business was thriving. Also, the building businesses were thriving. I see this around us, and also from what we read in the media. So yes, this is one of the phases of Saturn. What will happen? Of course, he also reconstructed our lives. We are not the same after his entrance in Capricorn. Think about it. Just think about it. We're not the same people anymore. Each one of us in her personal way. So yeah, it was great transformation, very karmic, very good, because I can tell you that I learned so much astrology during these 3 years of transit of Saturn that I couldn't imagine learning otherwise. Like we were living the real astrology, through the real astrology. It was amazing. Very good experience. I love Saturn as Ninurta and as Saturn. Now, look what will happen, very interestingly. So on the 23rd of January, he's entering his second kingdom. And of course, logically, when Saturn is entering place, which is his kingdom, he as the Lord of this kingdom will do the most there. It is like you didn't visit your house for 3 years, then you're entering your house and you won't fix what you feel that is not clean or is not fixed or needs reparation. So is he. So is what he did in Capricorn for the last 3 years. Only think about this. And now he's entering Aquarius and he will be doing the same. He's entering Aquarius and this is his second house, second kingdom. And he will be cleansing and reforming what Aquarius is meaning. Aquarius in the Babylonian astrology is the house of Enki. Enki is one of the 3 primal divinities which had to do with the genome, if you want, a creation of the humans. So Enki is considered to be somehow friend of humans, but he's father of Jupiter, and he's magician. And Aquarius has waters. It's the water Seridanus. It's the star Fomalhaut. The star in the 9th, 10th degrees of Aquarius is one of the 4 royal stars. This is Fomalhaut, star of the spiritual guru. And Saturn will be there. He will be influencing Ninurta, will be influencing the house of Enki, the magician Enki, the spiritual, very much house of Aquarius. So imagine Saturn enters there to make absolutely giant reconstructions. Now, of course, you imagine that, like Tesla is saying, if you want to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, vibration, frequencies. It's all about energy. So, and vibration. So he is entering there. Which levels, which vibrations will play out for you depends on you. So there will be the 2 ways I see. One will go extreme into the innovative nature of Aquarius, because Saturn will be transforming, which could be going into the heavy direction of the artificial intelligence, which we may not like, but it depends on your vibration, what you choose, because you are creating your reality, or you get the very gorgeous energy of Aquarius, which actually will be, this high level of true spirituality, really consciousness-wise, really the collective consciousness of people which opt to live in harmony, in peace, together without building fences of their houses, but really having their community, connecting more and more with nature, living the magic of the nature. This could be the other vibration. So you see, it's up to what we opt for. Either you go for artificial intelligence, choosing to create a smart city for yourself, or you go for living in harmony with nature, with people, without building your fence, so to say symbolically, and also not symbolically. So I look at Aquarius this way, and don't forget very important stuff. We are not in the year of Aquarius. We are not. We are at the entrance, at the gate of Aquarius, but we are not yet in Aquarius. There will be 300 something years. And I explain this in many videos. Why? Because of the astronomical positions of the point of the equinoxes. So we are not yet in Aquarius. We are about to enter Aquarius in something like 300 something years. But this is, I have many videos on this. I don't want to dilute the topic with this. So yes, we do sense the energy of Aquarius. We will feel the energies of Aquarius once more, but it's not Aquarius yet. We still live in Pisces. And yes, this will be very, very interesting. Now, another thing I will tell you. So Saturn enters Aquarius on the 23rd of January. Only 3 days after, he becomes invisible. And he becomes invisible right, let me see. Yes, right in the first degree of Capricorn. And he becomes visible again on 4th of April. I apologize. I think in the previous video, it was just mistake, slip of the tongue. I said he will become visible on 4th of May. No, it's a mistake. Excuse me. I just realized he becomes visible on 4th of April. So you got 3 months of Saturn invisibility in Aquarius. During these 3 months, he takes away with him what he means. This would say old structures, old people. Unfortunately, it will go. This he will take old leaders, maybe some famous people will go. Some old structures, old ways of governing, old governments, and then on 4 April, he becomes visible again in the star Fomalhaut, the star of the spiritual guru. Extremely powerful appearance. You can't imagine how powerful this is, because this is a royal star, and in astrology we have only 4 such. So it is appearance of power. He is coming to show us, maybe I do expect new spiritual movements, maybe new religions. This may come up, because some of the old structures he will take away with himself when he will be turning invisible, and something new will come out. Also, unfortunately, this can go the bad way, like this what I mentioned to you that we may not like. But new technology, old who may go, other will come, and like that. So he will be for the next 3 years seriously restructuring the energy of Aquarius, and he will be going through sacred degrees and whatnot. But in this video, I cannot cover every degree of Saturn, but I can tell you a bit on each of the 12 ascendants, how this will work. But certainly, take this with open mind, because if you have good Saturn, this can be very good. If your Saturn is not placed and dignified enough in your horoscope, you can still work on that. You can still fix it, because he requires simple things, that we do not deviate from the truth, that we remain very moral, but in this broad human sense, moral to people, to ourselves, not deviation from the truth. This is very serious. I don't want to say even the word. Also, self-disciplining, getting rid of habits which are not good for ourselves. I know this is not easy for none of us, but this is one of the things. Discipline in organizing our lives, having more time orientation, because he's also Lord of Time. So basically, we can fix Saturn if Saturn is not good in our horoscopes. So, yeah, this is the thing. And let's see now how he will be working on, how this important transit will be influencing each of the 12 ascendants. So let's start. Now, you know that my perspective, of course, is sidereal, but I'll give you both perspectives for people who follow also the modern tropical astrology, let's look at a sidereal ascendant Aries. It will be sidereal Aries, or it will be modern Taurus. Or let's say that you don't know your the time of your birth, then you can derive this from your moon. So let's say you have moon in sidereal Aries, or this will be tropical Taurus. So actually, for you, this may be even a relief that Saturn will enter Aquarius, because for these last 3 years, Saturn was severely squaring your ascendant, heavy. And in the meantime, you had Uranus there, so it was a very heavy square. But it will be a relief, because Saturn now, on 23rd of January until 27th of December 2025, Saturn will enter for you Aquarius, 11th house. If you have good Saturn, he can give you even a lot of blessing. He can give you power. He can give you gains. He can give you good things related to, to children. If your Saturn is not very easy, could be that you have serious financial reconstruction, but it again depends from where your Saturn comes in your natal horoscope. But certainly he may do financial reconstruction. He may reconstruct very much your social circle, communication with children. But anyhow, it's a relief. It's a better period for you, because Saturn actually in your horoscope will be in a benevolent house, which is the house of the good spirit. This is the 11th house. So I certainly think that you should feel a bit better. It's a relief. You do not have Saturn transforming enormously, heavily your career. You have him now in a more benevolent house, the house of the good spirit, not squaring your ascendant. You should celebrate, I think. And now let's look at people who have sidereal ascendant Taurus or moon in Taurus, or this will be modern tropical Gemini. Now for you, actually, Saturn is entering your 10th house, your career place. If you have midheaven there, it is even more important. He will be restructuring very much your career, very much. Like the next 3 years for you will be mainly focused on career, highest of your goals, maybe also education. He may a little bit challenge your romantic life, so you may need to be more, diplomatic discipline. But I see him mainly working on your career place. Again, how exactly depends on your natal Saturn, how your natal Saturn is positioned. But anyhow, this is the main, he can influence your choices, your personal perspectives. He will be quite important, very important, especially if your midheaven is passing there. Now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Gemini, or if you're following modern tropical ascendant, this is Cancer, or moon in Gemini sidereal, or moon in tropical Cancer. For you, good for you, Saturn enters your 9th house to transform your ways of communicating, maybe give you travel, to transform your education. Could be that he makes you revisit certain education that you didn't finish, or introduce to you new philosophy, new form of education. In any case, this is the house. So I don't see this to be a negative transit for you. It will be very important too. And it's a trine to your ascendant. It will be stable, and I don't see this as devastating, but it will be important for your knowledge, perspectives, philosophical belief system, religion, communication, all this. And now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Cancer or moon in Cancer, or for the modern tropical astrology, this will be Leo. For you, Saturn is entering your 8th house. Now, depending on how Saturn is placed in your horoscope, this may influence a lot money or finances or gains that you may receive from unexpected sources. This can reconstruct the finances of your partner, or the finances that you generate through partnership. This can be very important for your spiritual, for your, for your interest in the occult. He can come up with amazing knowledge for you. But this for you is a relief, because Saturn now is not anymore on your 7th house, when he was very challenging, very reconstructing for your romantic life, marriage, relationships in general. So I also think that this will be easier time for you, relief. Now let's see people who have sidereal ascendant Leo or moon in Leo, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Virgo. Now for you, Saturn is entering your 7th house, very important. This is an axis. If until now, for the last 3 years, he was having influence on your health a bit, he was reconstructing your routine, your everyday job. Maybe he put on the table some conflicts or disputes that you had to solve with people. Now he will be having influence on your romantic life, very much on your marriage. It could be that he will test your marriage a lot, your romantic life, your relationship, agreements with people. He will influence your career because in yourself, your own perspectives, because he will be squaring your career place, your home. It's an axis. He will be looking towards many aspects of your life. So this will be very, very important, very transformative. You may need to be quite forgiving, quite in your romantic life, in your marriage. You may need to be quite forgiving, quite diplomatic, because he will be testing your relationship for sure. Now let's see people who have sidereal ascendant Virgo or moon in Virgo, or if you're looking from the perspectives of the modern tropical astrology, this will be Libra or moon in Libra tropical. Saturn for you is entering your 6th house. In this placement, he may be testing, challenging your health. Would be that health becomes very important topic for you, both in sense of research, but also in sense of personal health. You may need to be more responsible for your health, starting to maintain healthy lifestyle. Could be that he brings up disputes with people, some disagreements that you need to solve. He will be modifying your routine. He will be changing your schedule. Your routine may not look the same after 3 years of Saturn in transit. But in general, if you're very structured, if you're very disciplined, responsible for your health, I think that it will be fine. Now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Libra or moon in Libra, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Scorpio. For you, Saturn is entering your 5th house. This is the house of the good fortune. He will be reconstructing mainly your, knowledge, creative knowledge, communication with children. He, if well placed, he can give you good gains, good things with children. He will be working on your talents. You could be that you really look at or revisit talents, or that's something that you did before. He will give you lots of lots of knowledge. Of course, how exactly depends on how Saturn is positioned in your horoscope. But in any case, this is benevolent house. This is the house of the good fortune. So I don't see him to be harmful in your horoscope. Now we're looking at people who have sidereal ascendant Scorpio or moon in Scorpio, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Sagittarius. Now for you, Saturn with his entrance into Aquarius will very much influence your house situation, property, real estate, communication with parents. But because this is very important for house situation, he may be influencing also your career. He may be bringing changes there, and also your relationship. You may need to be diplomatic, careful at home, also with your partner, also with your superiors at your career place, because this can be a very, very important house. And if this is the axis of your lower meridian, higher meridian, it will be even more influential then. And now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Sagittarius or moon in Sagittarius, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Capricorn. Saturn for you is entering for the next 3 years your 3rd house, communication, study, knowledge. Also very spiritual house. This is the house where the moon is joyful, very much enhancing your intuition most probably. Communication with brothers and sisters, travel, communication, commerce, these areas of your life he will be restructuring. Of course, this will have impact on your finances, brothers, sisters, travel, all this he will be restructuring. Financially, of course, as well. He will have very important financial impact on you, actually as he did during the last 3 years, but this time he may require a little bit more action in terms of communication, travel, commercial activities, knowledge, schooling. There he may be having important impact on you. Could be that you start new classes, new studies, and so on. And now we look at people, excuse me, who have sidereal ascendant Capricorn or moon in Capricorn, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Aquarius. Now Saturn is leaving your ascendant. It will be a relief, because even if Saturn is well placed in your horoscope, and most probably you are familiar with the energy of Saturn because you are Capricornian, you have Capricornian ascendant, still I think it will be easier and it will be less heavy once he moves into your second house, from where he will still be quite influential in reconstructing. He will be influencing your finances. There he will make changes, how you perceive money, how you spend, how you invest. It will be a lot about money. Of course, this will influence your career, spending. He may influence also your family roots. Things from family roots point of view can come on the table, things with importance. So he will be very important mainly for your finances, for your family roots, communication with them, relationships. These will be the areas where he will be bringing the most important changes. And yeah, it's a relief. He's not on your ascendant anymore. Now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Aquarius or moon in Aquarius, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Pisces. 3 years he will be on your ascendant. Very important, very transformative. He will be influencing your personal perceptions, how you see the reality, how you see your spirituality, awakening, consciousness, what you want. What is your sense of mission? What's your mission on earth? He will be changing you a lot. He may have impact on your romantic life, career, almost every area of your life, because ascendant is house of life. It is all about you. It is you, your choices, your mission, your purpose in life. It will be a lot about you. Many, many, many areas of your life he will influence. How exactly depends on your horoscope, but he will be testing your relationship, very possibly. Your career choices, your social, your social circle as well. Many, many areas of your life. And the last one, Pisces, sidereal Pisces, moon in Pisces, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Aries. For you, Saturn is entering your 12th house. He will be then working on the 12th house, health, hidden enemies, the bad karma. So it's called, I don't like to sound negative, this is the name of the house. It is the house where you have your hidden place, the temple, your hidden sleeping room, if you want, when you are going to live abroad. It is about sick, poor. You will be then working a lot on your health. Will be very important. Could be that you need to be very diplomatic and careful with people, with enemies. Could be that you have the chance to defeat them, to win over enemies. You may opt for visiting temples, working on your spirituality. Health will become very important topic, So this is very important, but very introvert, very hidden for your transit. We'll work on more on subtle level, like more on spiritual level, your mission. It will be very interesting, and health will be very important. Also, enemies. Winning over them. It's like they may appear, but you will be given the chance to win over them, a bit in this direction. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is about Saturn through the 12 ascendants. Yes, how he will work on your horoscopes has to be seen in your horoscopes. Still, on my website, I think until end of December, are valid the special readings, which I do exactly in this direction, to see the next year, 2023. So you can look at them if you want to see how Saturn influences your personal horoscope. And yes, we should be looking forward. It will be very, very interesting. Have great 2023 and all the best to you. And remember, we are creating our own reality. All the best. Bye-bye. See you soon.